Hey there, fellow educator. It's Dr. A again with another question analysis video here at the Learning Liaisons. So let's take a look at this question. This is another question that was submitted to me by a teacher recently. And remember, based on my other questions that we went over recently and the special techniques and strategies that I go over in depth in my workshops on the website, we are going to not look at that question. I know it's tempting, but we are going to not be a fisher and we are going to go to those answers first. And we're going to go through our mental checklist of items to kind of get an idea. All right, this is stuff that you're going to practice over and over again. And before you know it, you're going to be able to dictate what the questions have to do with before you even get to them. That's when you know you're really a master at these strategies that I go over. All right, so let's take a look at these answers first. All right. Relevant, valid, reliable, measurable. All right, this is telling me we're looking at some kind of scores or results of something. All right, so even if you don't know what all these words mean, remember one of the strategies I go over is looking at those key words and phrases in the answer. Even if you don't know the textbook definition of what these words are, all right, let's take a look. Valid, if something is valid, well, if that means it's true. If it's true or not, reliable, you can rely on it. Measurable, obviously you're looking at some numbers. Is there something that's accomplished at the end? And relevant, all right, makes sense, relatable, okay? Now, looking at those, I'm seeing kind of a theme also going on here. Valid, reliable, and measurable. Well, those kind of are a little different from relevant, right? Relevant's not really a scientific term when it comes to data. You can use it in descriptions, but valid, reliable, and measurable, those are some really strong key terms when we talk about looking at results of data or surveys or anything along those lines. All right, so kind of give me an idea of what's going on here. So B, C, and D are really some defining words for looking at data. A maybe coincides with that idea, but not really a definitive vocab term in the mix there. So let's take a look at the question. Mrs. Rodriguez is a 10th grade U.S. history teacher, and she creates a survey for the class in order to receive some feedback or input on how to improve the history lessons that teachers present. Since Mrs. Rodriguez gave the survey to her students, the results would then be considered what? All right, so remember, we got to look for that key word and phrase in the question. All right, that's that action or process word. So I don't care what the teacher's name or what they're teaching, all right, the process or the action. So creates a survey, okay, to receive feedback or input, okay. And is there anything else we can pinpoint here? So receives feedback and input. How to improve. All right, so we're action and process keywords and phrases. So create a survey, get feedback, how to improve. All right, since Mrs. Rodriguez gave the survey to her students, the results would be considered what? So remember, we're giving a survey to a closed group of people, all right, to get feedback on how to improve things. All right, well, let's take a look at these here. All right, relevant. All right, well, that means it's relevant because it's her class. I'll keep that one around. Now, valid. So valid means, is it true? Now, they're asking for feedback, so it's just them giving their ideas. So that doesn't mean they're valid. You can give a survey to students. They can say the most crazy thing that they want you to do in class, like show a movie every day. That doesn't mean it's valid. So that one is gone, okay? Reliable. Well, is it going to give reliable results along the same lines? Really doesn't fit here. This is more of a end result when looking at surveys and data. Is it reliable? Well, we didn't get to any end results or studies here. This is just initial feedback from students asking, hey, how could I do things better? All right, and the same rule applies to measurable. We're not measuring anything because there were no testing done. There were no comparing of different new teaching strategies and history lessons. So we can't measure anything. So remember, before we looked at that question, we pinpointed a theme: valid, reliable, and measurable, all right, as a real concrete key terms in data analysis. then we got up to the question, guess what? There's no real data analysis going on. They're just asking the students' opinions, basically. So obviously it's relevant because it's coming straight from the horse's mouth, right from the kids in the classroom. That doesn't mean you have to act on all of them. You're just asking for input from your kids. So that's what makes it relevant. So the answer in this question would be A. All right, so I want to thank you for joining me for another question analysis. If you have a question for any of the exams, feel free to email at me at my email address below, and I'll be happy to address it in an upcoming video. But remember, I'm always here for you 24/7. You can always call or text message me at 407-797-1499, and I'd be happy to help you out. And feel free to check out my website for some of my live online workshops or on-demand video courses to help you with your specific Florida teacher certification exam. All right, so you guys have a great day, and I'll be back at it here soon with another question.